Hello, strong people. It is week 7, day 4. And surprise, surprise, we are not in my gym. We are on the road today. I mentioned in my previous video, but today we are going down to my coach's gym, Area 56 Warehouse Gym in Johnstown, PA. Great gym. I love it. Trying to think. So this is a pretty big, important training day. They're all very important, but this one is the one where we really get to see kind of where we're at on yoke, on the sandbag medley, on stones. I think we have to work at like a 925 yoke or something. I also have sandbag toss, but after that, yoke, then the sled, sandbag, medley thingy, and then stones. So it's going to be heavy. It's going to be very heavy. This is a pretty long drive for me. Like, it's like 35, 40 minutes longer than it is to get to 580 barbell. So that's why I usually go to 580 instead. Plus, there's not always people down here on Saturdays. They don't do like, your stereotypical like Strongman Saturday. Like there at 10 a.m., 580 at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, there's always a ton of people, it seems like. So, yeah, it's nice to train with, it's just closer for everybody. Just makes more sense in terms of just, you don't want to be gone all day. But I'll probably be gone a good portion of the day today. But I need to come down here, train, got to drop some stuff off to him. And he's got some stones that I need to mess around with. So I'm excited. I'd be more excited, but my head hurts. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of pressure in it, which is not what you want whenever you're about to get under a 900 plus pound yoke. That's going to make enough pressure on its own. So, we'll see. I'm going to keep drinking some water, I brought some Nutri-Grain bars with me. I already ate breakfast, and I think I got plenty of water in me already, so I don't know what's going on. But we're going to see what we can do and try to mitigate that as best we can, because if the headache doesn't go away or gets worse, then today is not going to be fun. It's going to be miserable for me, but we'll do what we can, see what happens. So I don't know how much I'll record down there, or if I'll even be able to record stones specifically. I would love to record, but I'd have to have someone down there to like record them, like use my phone or something. I don't know if anybody will be down there, so we'll see. Either way, we got to put in some work today, so let's get to it. So that was a good session. Well, ups and downs. Started out, did sandbag toss. The top bag was a little bit heavier, but it was bad. There's a little bit of a decline whenever I'm throwing there, and it was. I don't want to blame that entirely. The whole thing for the heavier weight felt off. The lighter bag felt fine. The 45-pound bag, I didn't record any of this, but my coach was watching it, so that was good enough for me. So the 45-pound bag, fine. I can throw that all day long. When it went to like the 57.5, technique felt off. Didn't feel quite right. Now, that's pretty much how it is when I get to those heavier weights. I've only cleared anything. I've cleared a 57.5 and like technically no. I've cleared a 60 to 15 feet, and I've only done that like once. So I think. So to be able to throw a 57.5 over 15 after 3 reps with 45 pounds, unlikely for me, honestly. But that's what it was. It was 45 for 3, followed up by 55 for 3, but it was 57.5, so a little bit more. I didn't clear a single 57.5. I didn't try it by itself. I was more focused on keeping the pace, because it's tough being explosive for 6 reps. Now, the medley itself at OSG is 40, 45, 45, 50, 55, 60. I am confident through the first 4. I've done that. 55, I failed at the regional, so it's going to be a bit of a Hail Mary to get those last 2. If I got to get to the final, this is all hypothetical stuff. I got to get to the final, so. But anyway, moving on from that, I was just tight. It was an hour and a half drive down, a little bit over that, and it's just tough to do it after a long drive like that. Your hips haven't moved in that long, so they're stiff. Low back's a little stiff. I didn't stretch out probably the way I should have, and I got a pretty bad low back pump just from doing nothing. I didn't really get to start throwing until 11 something probably, because we had to fill up the bags, which is no big deal. I have to do that all the time. So the Rogue bags are a little bit different, not enough to make a difference, but we use Rogue bags to Cerberus. I don't think they're not much different. So that was okay. Not great, not bad. Kind of where I expected it to be. Yoke, I'm so happy about. It could have been better. I'll say that almost no matter what. So, but what was programmed was usual warm-ups, whatever. Something I like about this yoke, it's a 3x3 post instead of a 2x3. So you got a little bit more something to hold on to. It's way more sturdy than any other yoke I've been using. Which isn't necessarily a good thing considering we're using a car yoke. So that's not going to be super sturdy. But adjusting to the weight, I care more about than anything else right now. So did my warm-ups. Went up to 800 was my first set. That was pretty good. It felt slow, but it was faster on camera than I thought. 875 was still pretty good. And 875 was the heaviest I've gone this prep, by 10 pounds, but still. Oh, excuse me. And then 875 felt good, surprisingly good. Threw on 925. That was my top set. And surprisingly, it went good. It felt way better than last time I touched anything that heavy. Like I remember when I was training for the Pro-Am and I got up into the 900s, that thing felt terrible. I mean, that thing felt like it was crushing me. I did not feel that way today. I felt like I had it under control. I was slow, but I had it under control. And I really think halfway through, I was like, I could go faster. Like halfway through the run, I was like, oh, I could speed this up. I've learned that I need to go high bar when it comes to really heavy yokes like that. If it's lighter, low bar, high bar doesn't really matter for me. But I need to be high bar because I want that yoke as centered on my body as possible. You still stay centered low bar, but you're leaned over a little bit. And kind of what that does is it's throwing me off balance. I'm being I don't think my core is able to keep up with a 900 plus pound yoke in order for me to be a slightly lean forward. And I don't even know if being slightly lean forward would help on a yoke. If it's light enough, I guess you get the forward momentum. But yeah, I felt way better with staying more upright. So that's the plan going forward for me for sure. That yoke, the only thing I didn't like was the pins seemed kind of far apart, like the pinholes. So my picks felt low, which isn't a bad way to train, in my opinion, because a lower pick is going to be tougher, so you're going to be a little bit more zapped whenever it comes to the actual run. I contemplated, like, for each run whether or not I was going to raise the pins one, especially because I was not doing low bar anymore. I was doing high bar, so I had to get a couple inches extra under the bar. But I was very surprised. The picks felt easier high bar, even though they were, I had to move the bar further. I was very happy. And what else? Sandbag to sled drag. I don't know. I didn't go nearly as heavy as what was programmed today. It was supposed to be like 325 and then a sled. My coach dropped it down to 275, 300 for the sled, or the sandbag. So 275, 50 feet down, run back 300, grab it, come 50 feet down, hop onto the sled, and push that 50 feet. I think at OSG we actually have to load the sled, so I'm going to drop it into the sled at OSG, I'm guessing, and then we'll push. I love the push. I would much rather have that than a pull, just because we always see pulls. Push, I would rather, it's different. We don't get to do it a lot at the amateur level. OSG isn't really amateur, but it felt good. I blitzed the first run. I could have been faster. I definitely could have been. I didn't sprint in between bags as much or whatever. My picks could have been better. Second run, I botched that thing so hard. The problem was, and it's my problem really. The 275 bag was very stiff, but the 300 bag was super floppy. So the 275 was more like picking up not quite a rock, but just a very, very filled sandbag. But the 300 was like picking up a lifeless corpse. And I positioned it better the first run. The second run, I grabbed like nothing but bag. So I was like flopping around trying to get it up, and then I couldn't get into position. I had to get down, get under a little bit more, and then the whole carry. By that time, I was like, it took me like 10 seconds to pick this thing. You'll see it. But I was like, oh my God. And then I loaded up the sled with like 180 more pounds for this run, because I was like, oh, that first run was too easy. So I loaded it up even more. And I was just like, oh, this is going to suck. So I was pretty gassed by the time I ran that one through, because that 300 bag just lit me up because I just didn't do it well. So, whatever, live and learn. I doubt the bags are going to be that floppy at OSG, especially because that second bag is going to be a Husafel, so it's going to be a little bit more filled. And then finally, stones. I still have a headache. That headache never went away. Those coughs hurt. So I was fighting a headache through the whole thing. It was pretty bad. After that sled drag, I was pretty gassed. I needed a few minute break, so I took like probably 10 minutes or so, at least. I found a pack of fruit gummies in my bag. I ate those, and I felt better after that. I felt good to do stones. I wasn't confident with the way I was feeling, but I was revitalized a little bit. So I did a warm-up with, I think I did 240, I did 310, I did 340, and I did one warm-up at 380. They all moved really well. The 340 stone there is actually bigger in diameter than the 380 stone. So 340 was more difficult than 380 in my opinion. And then 380 flew. You'll see. Obviously I took videos. Turns out us, people, we have knuckles on the backs of our fingers. So I was able to use that to work the camera. It was really a good show of dexterity. You guys should have seen it. But no tacky on my phone, so that's good. And yeah, I did the 380 warm up, recorded that. Flew easy. And I don't even think it was that good of a rep. I think I could have got under a little bit more. Got better leg drive, hip drive. And then I went to do my runs. I think I messed this up now that I look back at it. I think I was supposed to do 280, 310, 340, 340, 380, 380. Instead, I did 310 twice and then tried to do 340. My issue at this point was so much gunk and dirt and dust had built up on my hands that I couldn't get a hold on anything. I was trying to I even tacked up like the backs of my hands, and I couldn't get it. There's too much stuff in my hands for me to get to the stone. It was all just sliding off, all dust and dirt, hair, some wood chunks of the stone, whatever. It was just everywhere. I couldn't do anything at that point. I was pretty upset about that because I know I could do those runs. Everything felt easy enough that I didn't feel like that run would be that much of a challenge. But it is what it is, so do better next week. But until then, overall, that's a good training day. I'm not mad about that at all. So I don't feel very good, at least in my head. My body feels good. I feel happy about that. I'm starving though, so that's probably get home and just destroy some food. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.